Okay, another video on multiplying integers. If you watched the last video, then you saw the introduction to like what the rules are for multiplying integers. And they're actually pretty straightforward. A lot of students find multiplying and dividing easier than adding and subtracting. And I kind of agree with that actually. So if you watched the last video, then you learned about what we nickname in our classroom the Match.com rule. And the way the Match.com rule works is pretty straightforward. Is if you're on Match.com and you're looking for, you're single looking for another person, if you are a match, then that is a positive thing. That's great. And if you are opposites and you do not look like a match, then that is a negative thing. That is a bad thing. And the reason we use this rule is it kind of helps it stick in our head a little bit. But basically, a match would be things like I am multiplying a positive number times another positive number. Well, two positives make a positive answer. Another type of match could be a negative number times another negative number. Those match too. That's a positive thing. They go together. Non-matching problems are ones with opposite signs. So if I'm multiplying a positive times a negative, or vice versa, if I'm multiplying a negative times a positive, those are going to be negative answers. That's not a good thing. Those are not matching. These ones will be positive. These ones will be negative. So we're going to try a few of these, and they're pretty fast. I'm going to show you how quick we can kind of fly through these. We're going to try 4 problems, A, B, C, D. Each of these is a multiplication problem. We have negative 7 times 5. We have negative 3 times negative 4, 6 times negative 11, and negative 9 times negative 2. And in my mind, what I'm actually doing when I'm looking at these is I'm basically looking at them and saying, okay, first, let's just multiply. Let's go through and do all the multiplication. So I know what 7 times 5 is. That's 35. I know 3 times 4 is 12. I know 6 times 11 is 66. And I know 9 times 2 is 18. And I hope you know that too. But now I'm going to go back through and decide, are my answers going to be positive or negative answers? So I'm going to look for the Match.com. Starting with the first one, negative 7 times 5. That's a negative, that's a positive. So I have a negative and I have a positive. Those do not match, that's a bad thing. That's a negative answer, negative 35. I'm going to look at B. I have negative 3 times negative 4. That's a negative times another negative. That is a match, that's a good thing. We're going to keep it a positive 12. I have 6 times negative 11. That's a positive number and a negative number. That's not a match. That's bad. That's a negative 66. And then for my last one, I have negative 9 times a negative 2. That's a negative times a negative. Negative and a negative match. That's a good thing. That's a positive answer. So my answer is 18. So with multiplying, the rule is way quicker than the adding and subtracting rules. It's really just look for the match, and if they match, that's great, it's positive. And if they don't match, that's not good, that's negative. And that's the strategy. And then hopefully you already know your multiplication. Because if you don't know 7 times 5 is 35, then you're going to get really hung up on that step before you can even understand the positive and the negative numbers. So it takes a little bit of practice. Here, your turn. I'm going to give you 2 problems I'm going to add to this list. So I have A, B, C, D. I'm going to do E and F. And I would like you to now try without my help, or the help of a calculator. We want to be able to do this on our own. What would negative 6 times negative 4 be? And what would 8 times negative 5 be? Go ahead and pause the video and try those 2 problems, please. Okay, so I'm hoping you're unpausing the video and you've tried them, and now you're ready to check your answer. So we know 6 times 4 is 24. We also know that 8 times 5 is 40. But now we got to check the signs. So on the first one, negative 6 and negative 4, that's a negative and a negative. That's a match. That's a good thing. So our answer is positive 24. And on the last one here, we have 8, which is a positive number. And we have 5, negative 5, which is a negative number. That's not a match. That is not good. So the answer is negative 40. I really hope you're getting the hang of this. If you are, you should move on to dividing, because dividing and multiplying are basically the same rules. So just kind of keep that in mind. Thanks, guys. Bye.